Hello, Colorado Realtors. I'm Scott Peterson. Thank you for joining me for another edition of Legal Bites. This is the second of kind of a two-part series on technology, use of social media, protection of online reputation, which is what I addressed in the last version of Legal Bites. I think it's important, again, in today's technological world, that we're mindful of how we use social media, and as I discussed again in the last one, how we're paying attention to what's being said out in the on the interwebs about you, particularly considering that your reputation, and whether it's online or otherwise, is really all you have as a realtor. That's the starting point for how you develop business and what you do. So social media, realtors' use of social media is what I'm going to talk about today briefly. And I love social media. It's fantastic. You find me often, Snapchatting in my office and Instagramming and Facebooking. I'm actually kidding. I'm pretty poor in my ongoing use of social media. I may have missed me by a portion of a generation or something. But I do pay a little bit of attention. I'm an online stalker of social media. How about that? But when a realtor is using social media, as with anybody, and I have 3 teenagers, and I often find myself lecturing them about how they use social media, because once you push something out there to the interwebs, it's out there, and you can delete it, you can withdraw it. But as we know, too often in the popular culture world, where celebrities or athletes or politicians will say something about say something stupid via some online format, they may know better the next morning and delete it or whatever. But once it's out there, it's out there. And again, you having everything to rely on your reputation and your image as a business professional, as you're out trying to sell your realtor services to potential clients, it's critical that you've got a really clean social media portfolio. With all of that said, it's a fantastic platform to advertise and connect and to stay connected, to meet new people and to maintain connections with existing clients or old clients. So there's a lot of benefits to it. And so I don't need to talk about all those. You know what those are. But I'm going to talk about the cautionary pieces of your use of social media, because I'm a lawyer and I'm doing risk management stuff. So don't hold it against me. So the first thing I want to mention is the advertising rules. Real Estate Commission rules, which govern all of you Colorado licensees. Rule E8 specifically talks about advertising and the use of social media. And as you all know, in terms of realtor advertising or any licensee advertising in the state, the advertising needs to be done in the name of the brokerage firm. It needs to be clearly and conspicuously identifiable and available. The Real Estate Commission is very much obsessed with making sure that the consumer public understands who they're dealing with in terms of the broker and brokerage firm, and the fact that a licensee is licensed and that where their license is hung. And so it's really important that is clearly evident, conspicuously available on any advertising that a broker is doing. When it comes to using social media, however, they give you a little bit of a rope to hang yourself with, I guess, but it's a little bit of leeway, and kind of commonly referred to as like a one-click rule or something in that vein. And so if you're using social media, they're practical to the idea that having your brokerage firm and all of your identifying information conspicuously available probably doesn't fit in a Twitter post or in a Facebook post. So they give you the option of having within one click of that post all of that information available. So if you're going to be doing advertising, and advertising is defined, if you're a licensee or a realtor, very broadly by the state. If you're doing any advertising in relation to marketing of your listings or anything you're doing to market yourself or anything else, you have to have your brokerage information immediately available. If you're doing it on social media, then you can do it within one click, but upon posting that listing or that marketing material on a Facebook post, as an example, somebody has to be able to click on that link, and within that one click, it would take that individual to another landing page or web page or someplace else where all of the traditional E8 rules, all of the brokerage information is clearly and conspicuously available so that they can see it. So be mindful as you're doing advertising that it's either got to be available in the ad, in the Facebook post, in the Twitter feed, whatever, or linked to that so that within one click people can get there. Don't overlook that, because it is an E-rule violation if you are. Fair housing issues can come up a lot, and this is because social media is just very casual, can be very casual. It doesn't necessarily feel like advertising or marketing, but you can say things like, hey, have a look at my new listing downtown. It's great for a millennial, or some other characteristic that might potentially exclude a protected class under fair housing. So all of those considerations related to fair housing advertising apply when you're doing something even as casual as a Twitter post or a Facebook post, a snap, whatever you want to call it. Those fair housing considerations need to be considered, and you need to make sure that you're not doing things that would potentially discriminate against somebody that might be in one of the protected classes. And so I think most of you hopefully understand that and the importance of paying attention to the fair housing limitations in terms of your advertising. It does apply in social media. The last thing I'm going to say is just the common sense stuff. I don't know, politics, religion. I say keg stands as another example. You work so hard to establish a good quality resume for going out and getting new business, picking up new listings, getting new buyers. But they're all going to Google you. They're all going to land or end up on your Facebook page one way or the other, either because you're pushing them to that or because they're doing a little background research before they engage you. You got to be careful about what you're doing. You can alienate half of the potential buyer and seller population by getting political. You can alienate other portions of people by being religious. And I mean, we all understand free speech, but when you're in a professional environment and you're trying to sell yourself personally and your services that you're able to offer, you can defeat a lot of that, or at least alienate a lot of potential clients by doing silly things. And of course, the keg stand thing. I mean, listen, I love a good keg stand. I'm not going to knock you. In fact, you can send me the photo because I'd actually like to see it. But some people may not receive that so well when they're looking to hire a good, competent, professional realtor to represent them in what is probably the most valuable transaction of their lives. So do be mindful of the common sense stuff. As always, if you have questions, the Car Legal Hotline is available for you from 9 to 12 and 1 to 4, Monday through Friday. We love to hear from you, so give us a call sometime, and we will get you pointed in the right direction. Thanks so much for joining me, and we'll see you next time on Legal Bites.